In this video, we're gonna go over the top 5 things you should do to every ground blind before you go hunting. Guys, this is a really important tip. Please take this seriously. Now, this next tip is an amazing tip for filming and bow hunting. That's where this duct tape's gonna really come in handy. So every centimeter matters, and the field of view just looks better too, especially for filming. So I'm gonna show you guys how to quiet down your ground blind where you can open it and close it in complete silence every time. And this is gonna give you a lot more wiggle room for air. So now that has a nice matte finish, you can see the difference. The first thing you're gonna need is some duct tape or electrical tape and some sort of matte finish tape. Hockey tape works the best, but any tape that has a matte finish, no shine, is going to be okay. And of course, a knife or razor blade. Let's get started. So this particular ground blind is an Ox 5 made by Baronet. I've used these for years. I do like them a lot, especially for turkey hunting because they are just so big. Come on in. Okay, so it's obviously dark in here. We're going to go over everything. First up, we want to open it up and be able to get some light in here so we can see. But the first thing that I do is I take out this net. Now, a lot of guys like to keep this net up. I don't think it's really necessary, especially for turkeys with this time of year. So I literally cut it out, completely out. I just don't want it. It's extra weight, especially running and gunning with blinds and turkeys. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of gear. Definitely not worth having. Also remove any and all tags in the blind. Now these, it's only for reflective reasons, like, because once we open the windows, you'll see why. So let's go ahead and open up some windows and actually go through some really important tips that I think you guys are gonna really find helpful. The #1 rule with ground blind hunting is making sure you have a solid black background. And depending on what blind you buy will depend how easy that is. These Baronets are super easy to do because they don't have a lot of windows in the back. This part right here, it's a 180 open front, not a 360, so there's not like a bunch of cracks of light coming in. So I opened up the windows back here just so you could see the silhouette. So the #1 rule is you're gonna wanna make sure all of your windows and everything are sealed up. So, for example, if your blind has a lot of cracks and stuff in it like this, that's allowing light in and you're gonna get busted by the turkeys. And you're gonna think it's your decoy setup, you're gonna think it's a lot of things, but it honestly was your silhouette. So some different blinds have gaps like this. That's where this duct tape's gonna really come in handy. So what you can do is you can tape off those holes or cracks, or maybe like light with the zipper like this. This is pretty tight, but if you got something that's not a zipper, it's like a latch, then you can use duct tape to seal that off to not allow any light to come in. Guys, this is a really important tip, and please take this seriously, because if you've had a lot of issues with ground blind hunting where you're getting picked off or busted, it's probably because you had some light coming in, or you weren't wearing black. That's kind of a bonus tip. Always wear black in the blind, and that really helps. If you get a big ground blind like a Baronet, you can get away with a lot more than normal because they're so big and you're so far from the front. But like a double bull, a Maristep, even some of the Rhino blinds, I can't even think of some other ones that are out there, but those blinds that you're sitting really close to the front, it's critical you wear black and make sure your background's blacked out. So that's #2. Make sure everything is blacked out, and really that is the golden rule with all ground blind hunting. So let's move on. I'm gonna show you guys something really cool. This next tip you're gonna really like, and especially if you film or you bow hunt. So let's dive right in. Now this next tip is an amazing tip for filming and bow hunting. So there's a lot of extra material on these blinds. So if you open this up, there is a really thin rod inside, but they use this right here because they need to have the supportive connection between here and here. And so you don't need this on here. If you were to chop this off at both ends, the blind would get real saggy, but I'm gonna show you guys a tip here. So I use electrical tape for this. So I just wrap this around here. So I'll tape this up the first 6 inches. Okay, so I'll tape this end, and again, I'm just taping this secured here, and then I'm gonna secure this end here, and then I'm gonna cut out the middle. So it's important that you do both sides first, and I'll actually pop this in because it'll be a little bit easier. but you got to make sure that you tape both sides. Okay, so once you cut out or you tape off each end, now you're good to cut out the middle. And this is going to make your field of view way larger, but also less likely to hit. Let's just start here. Also less likely to hit your arrow on this. This is big for when you're hunting decapitating broadhead setups too. Okay, so there, if you're just comparing these two here, you can see the rod comparison difference. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, geez, that can't be that big of a deal, but I'm telling you guys, if you're shooting at a turkey right here and you aren't paying attention to where this is, and you just barely nick this, just barely nick the edge of this, then you're gonna miss. I've done this. Every single one of my blinds I've ever hunted with, I swear I've done this probably 5 or 6 times where I think I'm clear and I'll clip the edge and I'll miss the bird, or I've never missed a deer doing that, but I've missed turkeys doing that because I use the decapitating setups. So every centimeter matters, and the field of view just looks better too, especially for filming. So again, so this is like step number 3, and I'll do this for each one of our things. And also here in the middle, since normal people, and this is what I do, is I'll make this my primary shooting window. And so this is a big, huge strap that's easy to cut. Also done that. So what I do, check this out. I'll take electrical tape and I'll kind of I still want a little bit of adjustability, but I'll take this like this, and then I will fold this in half. Right here, just like this, and pinch this as tight as I can get it. And so I got it right there, and then I'm going to do this just up the whole thing. All right, there you guys have it. So this is also big. I mean, you're taking this down from like 1.5 inches wide to less than 1/4 inch. And this is gonna give you a lot more wiggle room for air, because I'm telling you guys, when you go to shoot a turkey, they always seem to wanna be a little bit away from wherever you're hoping they'll be. So it just doesn't ever seem to line up perfect. And so this really helps, and it films a lot better. Like when you're watching a video, there's not this big bar in the way. And I know for some of you guys that don't film, there's still a lot of benefit to this because you're just less likely to hit that. Now this is where that matte finish tape comes in, like hockey tape. Hockey tape's the best. I didn't have hockey tape, but I found this stuff. It'll work really well. The things that will catch an animal's eye shine, right? So that's not really natural in nature to see something shiny. So what we want to do is we want to make sure to cover up the things that are reflective and shiny. So that's where this tape comes in. So we'll start down here, and now we're going to wrap all the bars like this. There you got it. So now that has a nice matte finish. You can see the difference, especially from the outside looking in. You'll be able to see the difference with this, and this is super, super important to do, is get that nice matte finish so nothing shines. All right, I also do the same thing here, just because I don't want that electrical tape to have any sort of sheen on it. So a lot of you turkey hunters out there do exactly what I do, and that's set up the blind the day that you hunt. And you're usually trying to sneak up, get as close to the roost as possible, everything's quiet, and you go to pop up the blind, and the metal on metal makes noise. Birds are clucking, birds are freaking out, not what you want. So I'm gonna show you guys how to quiet down your ground blind where you can open it and close it in complete silence every time. So all you have to do is quiet or buffer the connection between the metals. So you have this metal coupling here that basically goes on the end of this, contacting with the hub. So how you fix that is you wanna get a nice thin piece of about that thick right here. I've already kind of got it. So you don't need a very big piece, but what I like to do is actually double it up. So I'll take 2 pieces, stick them on top of each other, so then they're twice as thick. And then all you gotta do, so just like that, then all you gotta do is go down here, stick that right in there, and a pocket knife or something like that will work really well. I got a pair of scissors that I'd probably be able to work. And then you just press it down like that, and then just chop off the extra. And that is gonna silence that up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hurry up and just do this on all 4 of the hubs. Again, you can even just push it up against the edge of the metal to even seat it down in there. And if you're having trouble getting it to sit, you can super glue it. You know, it's not like, you know, turkeys can smell anyways, so it's not a big deal. But anyway. Oops. There you guys have it. Completely silent, no metal on metal, so you can open and close it silently in comparison to, let's just use this one, where you get the metal. And we come back over here. See that? That tip is worth watching the whole video for, guys. I'm telling you, especially turkey hunting where you're popping the blind up, trying to be quiet, that little tip is going to save you on ruining a hunt, especially if you're pushing in close. So we're gonna keep moving on. We are pounding you guys with tips. I hope you're enjoying this. And if you are, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do more giveaways than any other bow hunting channel on the internet. I can promise you that. We are giving away an entire 6-day, 7-animal African safari hunt right now. So if you're watching this before we have hit 200,000 subscribers, make sure to like and comment all of our videos, at least the most recent ones, and subscribe and turn on bell notifications, because I'm telling you guys, it is worth it. We are picking one of our subscribers to go to Africa on our dime. We're even gonna pay for travel. So it's a pretty amazing opportunity. Make sure to subscribe. So we're gonna get back to the tips. I got a few more for you. Last up, it's actually chip clips. And you can use any type of chip clip. I just picked some up from the kitchen here. The best use black ones. You can even use like large pig purses that you can get from like an Office Max or something. So where you use these is also, in replacing the beginning, I said you could use duct tape to tape up the back. Well, say you have a spot like right here that just, the window, something's not right to where you can't get it to come down on your particular blind. You can be able to take a chip clip and then roll this up and put it like that and keep that blacked out. Another place you can actually use the chip clips is right here in the front. So a lot of you guys will be sitting like in the blind and maybe the window's just not perfect, where you don't want to pull it all the way up here because then you're letting all this light in, you know, and maybe you just want to pull up just a tick right here. Well, these chip clips can work really well. And so you could just go right there and just use that to pop up part of the blind that you're wanting, maybe a little bit bigger window. So it works really, really, really well, guys. And so guys, I hope you enjoyed all of these tips. This is something I do with every single ground blind that I buy, especially for turkey season. You know, when you silence those hubs and then you do the matte finish tape, like with hockey tape, you do all of these things to your blind, you're increasing your odds of success in the woods. And that's all that I hope that you guys get from this video, is better luck in the woods. Well guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on all bell notifications. We are doing giveaways all the time, especially right now. Like I mentioned earlier, we are giving away an entire Africa safari hunt to one of you lucky subscribers. We're even paying for travel. You know, we're also on TikTok and Instagram. So wherever we end up seeing you guys, we really appreciate your support and following us on all of our social media platforms. And I'll see you guys in the next video.